Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Valley Views. This is your host, Amanda Joy Christensen, coming in from the most fabulous city in the entire country, in my personal opinion, and that's what you're going to get here. My opinion and opinions of really great people in the Las Vegas Valley. I'm really excited to welcome you to season three, episode, oh my gosh, I just knew the number. I think it's 24. Yes. And it is going to be a fantastic interview episode where I get to share a phenomenal story about an amazing local Las Vegas um, human who does something impactful with their life, with their work, and they are downright someone that is invested in the community and they are leaving their own legacy. So I'm really excited to bring you this interview this week on April Brucker. She is a Vegas-based actress, author, comedian, ventriloquist, and TV personality. She has often been recognized as that puppet girl from My Strange Addiction. John Katsilometes of the Las Vegas Review Journal has nicknamed her the Vegas ventriloquial vixen. She's celebrating, along with America this year, 250 years of history. She is celebrating as well for her personally a new book release. And as a published co-author here in the Valley, I always love to celebrate other local Las Vegas leaders who are writing books on how history has shaped modern entertainment. Her book, 250 Years of American Ventriloquism, How Ventriloquism Influenced American Culture, and will spend the next year presenting a program of hidden voices, the story of 250 years of American ventriloquism across the libraries, museums, historical societies, and performing arts centers. She will continue to perform at comedy clubs and theaters and corporate events as well to continue to celebrate what is the 250th year of America and the history and fun that goes into it. If you want to learn more about how to follow April, you are able to find her on quite a few different platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and X, which I always tag in the show notes below. She also has her official website, www.aprilbrucker.tv, APRILBRUCKER.tv. She shares her performances, behind the scenes moments, and stories from her journey. She's always staying connected through local interviews, which she was just featured on Fox 5 More. Fantastic interview. She is always looking to connect with podcasters, journalists, and entertainment outlets. Whether you're a reader, a fan, or just simply curious about the world of ventriloquism, she invites you to connect with her to share in passion of comedy, creativity, and the unexpected. I'm so excited to continue, but if you're new to Valley Views, let me give you a little intro about who I am and what I do here. Every week, I bring to bring to the platform Valley Views, a show that I created here in the Las Vegas Valley that advocates to change viewpoints. It also gives an opportunity for you to learn and have an educational tool about a topic that you may not know about. Since Las Vegas is so heavily focused on what the entertainment world is doing, when I created my show, Valley Views, I wanted to find the abstract, unique hands, feet, faces, voices, and puppets to bring to life a new idea and a new space. So, this is a platform where anyone can come, no matter your walk of life, no matter your background, or no matter what your journey is. I just ask if you want to be on the show to reach out to me via my social media. You can also find me on LinkedIn, my professional network, where I host over 2,000 connected professionals every week on sharing what I'm doing with my media. It's continued to grow and be recognized, most recently in MSN, as one of the top 10 self-made women to watch in journalism coming out of Las Vegas. As I continue to share real stories of real people with real perspectives, not just my own. I have learned that it is absolutely creating a buzz of its own and putting me in the corner of one of the most influential women here in the Valley that continues to have a platform despite my title and despite how I look and despite the car I drive. Getting back to this fantastic interview, April grew up in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Hey girl, I'm from Pennsylvania too. I love it. She spent much of her early life exploring the history and stories hidden throughout the Northeast, which, yes, a ton. Especially celebrating the founding of our country. Pennsylvania is the birthplace. I was born in Philadelphia. I grew up in a city where the Declaration of Independence, I went to the building it was signed. I've seen the Liberty Bell. And I really reflected this week, especially 250 years in, on how many millions of people do not have the opportunity that entertainers or performers or people who choose a life to travel in their career may never get a chance to say, I've seen the Liberty Bell. I've walked through the building where the Declaration of Independence has been signed. And I felt really, really proud. Anyway, April shares while most kids were outside playing sports, she was often wandering through the libraries and museums, turning pages of history books, studying old photographs, and collecting the fascinating little details that would eventually become the inspiration of her writing. Her childhood discoveries taught her that something she still believes in today. April believes that every place, every person, and every moment has a story waiting to be told. After her time living in Pennsylvania, she took a journey to New York City, where she spent more than a decade building her life as a performer. She earned her BFA in theater from NYU's Tisch School of Arts and embraced the energy, creativity, and endless possibilities of the Big Apple. But eventually, the phone rang, and it was the West Coast calling her. And she headed to Los Angeles, where she earned her MFA in creative nonfiction and screenwriting from Antox University, Los Angeles, expanding her love of storytelling from the stage to the page. Then came her unexpected plot twist that landed her in Las Vegas. She was invited to perform as a special guest in a show for 9 months. And like many great stories, her temporary adventure here became the new chapter in her career. She fell in love with Las Vegas, the entertainment world, and the possibilities that came with it. I came for the show, but I stayed for the story. Her career has always lived at the intersection of entertainment, education, and history. I'm a ventriloquist, comedian, actor, author, and researcher. Someone who loves uncovering forgotten stories and bringing them back to life. I've always been fascinated by the way people connect and communicate, which may explain my lifelong attraction to both ventriloquism and storytelling. Whether I'm creating a chapter, performing on stage, or digging through a historical archive, I have been drawn to the same challenge, time and time again. Find the human story behind the subject. Her specialty is taking ideas that seem unusual, overlooked, or lost to time and transforming them again into an entertaining experience that many audiences say, I never knew that, but now I want to know more. April, what led you to share your story on my podcast? She said, I've always been drawn to platforms that celebrate authentic voices, unexpected journeys, and the stories behind the people we see. When I discovered Valley Views and its focus on personal experiences and meaningful conversations, it immediately felt like a natural fit. My career has been anything but predictable, filled with fascinating people, unexpected detours, and plenty of moments that could have never been scripted. I have chills because I understand that. So many people, I'm going to pause on her beautiful interview and share. So many people for the longest time would say, Amanda, your life sounds like a movie. but there's so many moments in my life where I've just been at the right place at the intersection of entertainment and hospitality that led me to rooms that took my breath away, including where I was last week, but we'll get to that later. She says, from performing and creating characters to researching history and sharing stories, I've learned that every journey has a lesson, a laugh, and a story worth telling. I love opportunities to connect with others by sharing not just the highlights, but the twists, the challenges, and the surprising moments that shape a creative's life. What is your personal take on hospitality in the world? Hospitality is one of the most meaningful gifts that we can share with one another. And it has nothing to do with money, status, or grand gestures. Thank you. Sometimes the greatest act of hospitality is simply opening a door, offering a listening ear, welcoming someone's story, or reminding someone that they really matter. At its heart, hospitality is about connection in a world where people can feel increasingly divided and disconnected. One moment of kindness, curiosity, and genuine human attention can bridge the gap and bring us back to where we share together in our stories, our experiences, and our humanity. What is your valley view or special voice or story you'd like me to share? Las Vegas holds a fascinating and often overlooked chapter in the history of ventriloquism. The city's first recorded ventriloquist performance came long before the era of the mega resorts and dazzling productions. In October of 1931, Clark Phillips, known as Dunbar the White Yogi, brought his act to the Las Vegas Air Dome, the city's first movie theater. Decades later, as Las Vegas transformed into the entertainment capital of the world during the 1970s, ventriloquism found a glorious new stage. Carl Garay and his dazzling life-sized, jewel-covered puppets became a memorable part of the Las Vegas Strip experience, blending comedy, spectacle, and showmanship in true Las Vegas fashion. Performers like Garay helped redefine what a ventriloquist could be and inspired creators and choreographers to think bigger and take character-driven entertainment beyond the traditional stage. The influence then helped carry the spirit of Las Vegas spectacle to theaters, television, cruise ships, and venues around the world, proving that Las Vegas, even a wooden performer, could become a star. I love it. Since family is one of the topics, I always say, do you have family and would you like to share? Family is very important to April. Beyond relatives, I've been fortunate to build a community of friends, colleagues, readers, and fellow performers who have become part of my extended family. I also have 38 lovely puppet children. Yes, they are all her favorite. What is something special about your life that has made you so unique? April shares, few people can say their career path has included bringing children to life on stage, making audiences laugh, performing as an actress, writing books, and uncovering forgotten pieces of history. My journey as a ventriloquist, comedian, actress, author, and researcher has allowed me to explore two worlds that may seem different, entertainment and scholarship, but I've discovered they're deeply connected. History is ultimately about people and their dreams, struggles, personalities, and their personal stories. Comedy is also about people finding the humor, the humanity, and shared experiences that bring us together. One helps us understand where we came from, and the other one helps us connect in the moment. Together, these passions have shaped not only my career, but the way I see the world, always looking for the story behind the story and finding the laughter along the way. I want to touch on that because even when people ask me about Valley Views, they say, Amanda, what's the point? Why are you writing it? Do you make money off of it? It was never about that. It was about creating an instrument that could educate someone on a topic based in history, rooted in research, and then topped off with the cherry of a real life human in my city that's seen it, done it, been there. When I started my show, it was exactly what April is doing. Her creativeness is a blend of history and education and entertainment, but it's intended to teach, it's intended to inspire, it's intended to keep a lost art of fun alive in a world where so many people are just so serious all the time and would rather watch creepy, weird horror movies than funny comedy skits about the lighter side of things. But I digress. Do you plan on launching your own business? And if you've launched your own business, what advice can you give to someone starting out? Her career has been built around entrepreneurship. Hello, because authors and performers are, in many ways, their own business. We create the product, we build the brand, we connect with the audience, and then we continue to find ways to bring our ideas into the world. The biggest lesson I've learned is the power of persistence. Talent may open the door, but consistency is what keeps you in the room. Success rarely comes from waiting for the perfect moment because it will never come. It comes from taking action, learning along the way, and then continuing to move forward. Start with what you have, wherever you are, and use your tools, your relationships, and the opportunities that are available to you. Keep refining your craft. And don't underestimate the value of showing up again and again and again and again and again. The journey is built on one step, one idea, and one opportunity at a time. I'm almost at the end of the interview, but these are the most powerful questions I always close it off with. Share a viewpoint on the most challenging obstacle you've overcome, if you want. She said that one challenge I have faced has been learning how to stay true to your goals when others just don't understand them. Years ago, I was engaged to a man who asked me to choose between him and my puppets. And initially, I chose the relationship, but over time, I realized I wasn't being true to myself. And that experience was later featured on My Strange Addiction and covered by outlets, including the Daily Mail and the Daily Star, which was a total turning point in my life. As someone who just ended a 6-year relationship after feeling like everything about who I wanted to be died in the relationship, I respect that and I understand that because who I finally want to be, I can be. And April writes, she redirected her full energy then at that point towards her career as a professional ventriloquist and performer and committed to building that path because that's what she truly wanted in her heart. The lesson I took from it is simple. Don't let anyone talk you out of the dream you have. And if a situation is consistently pulling you away from who you are and who you are meant to be, maybe it's a sign to move in a different direction and find your own path. Do you believe that podcasting and storytelling is a new form of media and or news? Absolutely, she says. Podcasting has become one of the most powerful storytelling platforms of our time. Yes, it has. I'm going to sing about it, okay? Because, yeah, it has. It creates space for long form conversations, personal narratives, and deep dives into specialized knowledge that often will not fit into a traditional media format. In many ways, it has democratized democratized, ooh, storytelling by opening the door for more voices, perspectives, and lived experiences to be heard. Share with us what apps or social media you use. She said she enjoys using YouTube, podcasting, streaming platforms, social media, and online archives. As a performer and historian, she is always looking for stories, interviews, documentaries, and resources. The internet has become an incredible tool for learning and connecting people all over the world. What is the one thing you would tell your younger self now as an adult? And I would tell my younger self to stop worrying so much about fitting into a box. The world is your oyster, so create your own. There's one idea that April hopes to leave people with today from her story is that curiosity has the power to change everything. Whether you're exploring history, learning a new craft, writing a book, or chasing a dream that doesn't quite fit the expected path, the act alone of asking questions can quietly reshape your life in ways you've never anticipated. The world is full of extraordinary stories waiting to be discovered, and often the most compelling one is the life you're already in the middle of living. Her career has taught her that success isn't about becoming someone else. It's about uncovering who you already are, developing that voice fully, and then having the courage to share it with the world. Thank you, April. What a powerful, powerful interview. As a fellow Pennsylvania girl, I want to say this, and I've shared it on many of my episodes. And if your interview didn't just close on everything that Valley Views is, it was a space I created to get my voice back in a community I love, one that I spent 15 years behind the scenes as a little Miss Nobody serving people. But what forced me to want my voice back is I had spent years dedicated to the craft of hospitality, over hundreds of thousands of hours serving people with my bare hands in restaurants, at the front desk, in sales, pouring cocktails, observing millions of people's transactions with me. And I can tell you, when I started writing, it was for educational purposes. It was to document history happening before my eyes in a city where they'll tear it all down and pretend it didn't happen because it looks cooler to build something new. So I'm going to close on this. My name is Amanda Joy Christensen. I was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the birthplace of America, in 1988. I was born into a country that literally no longer exists. The idea of raising a family and having a home and living in a society where people treat people with kindness is gone. But there's a small, small visionary group of people that see beyond that. And I realized when I started writing Valley Views, everyone in the city had no clue what I was going to write about because no one had any clue who I was. But I stood in a moment in history last week in a room of people that I only could have dreamt about in a story. But the reason I was there was because I have the vision that no one sees for a city that's yet to happen because I have lived through 20 years of history here. And when you think about it takes one person to rewire opportunities that could give 10,000 people jobs. It's a service to be in hospitality. It's a service to be an entertainer. It's a service to create a character, to want to share education for people. And when our founding fathers came to this country, none of the commercialism and none of the materialism that we have now existed. And the idea that you knew what was up ahead, there was no GPS. It could have been a pack of wolves, or it could have been an Indian tribe waiting to kill you. But the reality is 250 years later, we've gone backwards. We've gone backwards in wanting to celebrate tradition, family, and legacy. But not on Valley Views and not here on my show. Because the things that I report on are rooted in those key points that April finds joy in creating her characters and continuing to celebrate and show up through writing books. Because at the end of the day, social media could crash and burn tomorrow. But books, museums, cultural experiences, history deserves to be respected and honored and preserved. And as long as I get to show up every week and I get to have an eye in rooms of legacy leaders who I could only have dreamt about meeting until I did. And it was real too that I'm one of them. I'm leaving my mark, and I have a legacy in a city where I was dropped off in the idea of just having a vision and a dream that I could make a difference in a city and I could educate someone and I could change their viewpoint, one story at a time. So, April, thank you for letting me share your story. I know it's been months since we first connected, but everything is timing, and the beauty in what you brought to my episode this week is an, a blessing to me. So I will catch everybody on the next episode of Valley Views. I'm going to probably be wrapping the end of my season. Every season's been about 25 episodes. So I'll be doing a season finale episode to just kind of give you guys a heads up on where I'm at, what's going on with the pageant, my red carpet event I just went to, but really it was just unexpected. The opportunities ahead for what I will be doing with my show are just getting started. So to everyone who's taken a chance on me, I'm so honored, and God bless America. God bless everyone in Las Vegas. I'm glad it was a really safe and incredible weekend. The amount of fireworks and beauty that I saw here, there's glimmers. There's glimmers of the next generation being different. And I hope I'm one of them.